Alright, we are going to replace the chain and sprockets on a Yamaha R1. This is a pretty simple task. First we are going to start with removing the hex head screws. There are 3 of them that hold this plastic cover on over the countershaft sprocket. This is a good time for me to tell you that you should be wearing safety glasses for this project. You should be wearing safety glasses. Ask me how I know, because I will have a scar on my forehead. So with an 8mm wrench, I am going to remove the screw which locks down the shifter lever. This screw needs to come all the way out because it fits in a little indention that is on the shaft that goes into the transmission. So this screw has to be completely removed, and then the little clamp will slide right off of that spline. So we just give this little plastic cover a nice tug and it'll come out of there. Don't be scared, you're not going to break anything. So what I did was I put my wrench on the countershaft sprocket, and then I pushed down on the rear brake. If you have an extra person that can help you out, it would be a lot easier to have them hold the rear brake down while you work on the other side to loosen up this countershaft bolt. Do not cut the chain first. If you want to see fun and exciting, try getting that countershaft off there with hand tools and just have the either in gear with the engine and transmission trying to hold it in place. The chain really helps. Or I've done it with an impact once or twice. Okay, now I am removing the nuts that are holding my rear sprocket on. It's easier to loosen them when they're on the bike. And if you look at the left side of your screen, you'll see something dangling from the bike. I found that if you use an ammo can with 1,000 rounds of 9mm in it, that's enough weight on your brakes to hold your rear wheel in place. It's not enough weight to hold the rear brakes down so you can loosen the countershaft sprocket, but it is enough weight to hold the rear wheel from turning while you loosen these nuts up. Another good tip is if you apply the weight to your rear brake lever, it will force all the air up to the reservoir. It's one of my tips that I learned from a friend of mine a long time ago. His name was Regan Shaw. He was hit by a dumbass driver in Tampa, Florida. but he's the one that taught me how to put a zip tie on the brake lever overnight, and your front brakes will be rock solid in the morning. So we have a 32 millimeter socket here, and we're going to remove the rear axle nut, and then I'm just going to push the axle through to the other side. And slide the wheel forward, take the chain off, slide the wheel back, remove your brake caliper, set the wheel to the side. So now we're going to go back. We want to match up our new sprocket with our old sprocket. And finish taking all the nuts off of the wheel. This sprocket and chain kit came from sprocketcenter.com. I think the whole kit was right around $200, with shipping included. And we did the 530 chain, stock gearing with 530 chain for longevity. Yeah, you can go with 525 or 520, but if you're running a leader class bike, it's nice to have a little bit longer chain life than what the 520 and 525 will give you. And we can argue till we're blue in the face about the tensile strength of each chain, but really I could care less what you think. It's the internet, and everybody has their opinion. Doesn't mean their opinion's wrong or right, but you use the chain and sprocket that you want to use, and the people that come here and have me work on their bikes, they can use the chain and sprockets which they prefer. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down as much as I can with the wheel off the bike. And towards the end of the video, you'll see where I put the wrench back on them and I tighten them down the rest of the way just to make sure that they're nice, tight, firm. Alright, now I'm going to remove the countershaft nut and get it up out of the way. And then this is the fun part. There's many ways to break a chain, but I found that a good pair of bolt cutters is the easiest way. This is not a good pair of bolt cutters, but it will do the job. So right now I'm cleaning out all the crud and gunk that's around where the countershaft sprocket was. If you use chain wax, it will build up in here, and it's a good idea to clean this out anytime that you replace your chain, because it's just going to build up more with the new chain and sprocket when you start cleaning it and adding more, because you're not going to pull this cover off later and clean up in there. This is the second chain and sprocket kit that I put on this particular Yamaha R1. I did it about 2 years ago and maybe 20,000 miles. So now I'm going to feed the new chain over the countershaft sprocket and back under, and I'm going to pull it evenly to the back of the bike. Those gold chains sure look awesome on a bike. Doesn't matter what color bike you have, that gold chain just really sets it off. I like the gold, I think, better than red, black, white, all these special colors that are out nowadays. So I just hand tightened the countershaft nut on the spline, just to keep my sprocket from sliding around. Now I'm going to lift my rear wheel up and run the axle back through it. This is actually pretty easy to do when you don't have to worry about having a chain connected to the wheel. Because all you have to do is line your brake caliper up to the swing arm and slide it into place, and then you can come back later and hook the chain up. You kind of have to be ambidextrous to get your brake caliper and your chain and the wheel and the axle all in line and lined up and in place at the same time. And this video pretty much proves that I look like a retard trying to get this rear wheel mounted up. It should have gone on a lot easier. So don't forget, once you get your rear wheel on, you need to turn the bolts that are coming out of the swing arm that set the alignment of your rear wheel and tension the chain. You need to turn those back into the swing arm so you have more play, because this chain is going to be considerably shorter than the chain that you took off. Now, when I edited this video, I did a really shitty job, didn't I? Kind of sucks, all this dead air. So I've got my new master link. It's a rivet style master link, and what I'm doing is opening up the package and trying to get the little O-rings out. So you're going to take your new master link and you're going to put 2 O-rings on it, and you're going to put this white lithium grease on the link itself, and we're going to try to get as much as we can inside the other links. So inside the barrel of the links on the chain, we want to get as much of that white grease in there as possible. because that's what's going to lubricate your chain, and these O-rings is going to keep the grease inside that chain and keep it lubed up. So if you put grease in the hole by the wheel, when you shove that master link through there, that grease should come out the other side, and it should get inside the barrel of that chain. So we don't want to waste any of that grease. We want to make sure as much as possible gets around that link on both sides and inside the barrel. So right now I'm putting on the two little rubber O-rings or X-rings or whatever DID calls them, and then I'm putting on the outer part of the master link. And with my Motion Pro chain tool, this is going to press the cover plate of the master link onto the master link itself. We don't want to overpress this. We just want to line this new plate up with the existing links on either side. Yes, you can put too much pressure on the chain when pressing on this plate. So we're just finishing up the pressing of that plate on. There are two holes on the Motion Pro tool which the rivets will slide into when you're tightening it down. So it's a good idea to take the Motion Pro tool off and put it on and make sure that that link and those holes are lined up so that plate goes on smoothly. Next we're going to take our tool and we're going to take the piece that puts the plate on, and we're now putting in the pin that is going to peen open that rivet. So very important that you have your safety glasses on at this point. So it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure to put these rivets into place. There's like a little BB sized round ball on the end of the tool, and it just spreads apart the rivet on the master link. And I've had these master links actually break before. When crimping them down, I've actually had the master link shatter, like an edge of that rivet shatter and fly out. So be very careful when you're doing this. Alright, with the chain in place, we're going to go ahead and we're going to tighten down our countershaft nut. And you'll see it'll get so far and then I won't be able to turn the nut anymore. You see my ammo can hanging from the bottom of the bike. It's not going to be enough to hold this nut down to get it torqued in place. Fortunately for me, I have the bike's owner present, and he's going to hold his brake lever down while I tighten this nut. So there we go, that nut's good. So now we'll put on the cover for the countershaft sprocket. Again, you're not going to break anything, so just get your cables lined up with the left side of that cover and then push it into place. The only difficult part of this task is the third little bolt on the left is kind of difficult to get to with the cables in the way, the wires in the way. So once you have your cover in place, we're going to take our shift linkage and we're going to put it back where it belongs. Now if you look at the spline that comes out of the transmission, there's a line that runs across the middle of it. And that line needs to match up with the clamp, with the opening of the clamp. So that line needs to be in the center of the opening, and then you put your bolt in and tighten it down. So now that we've got the chain in place, now it's our job to align and adjust the chain so we don't have too much slack and we have the wheel going straight. If you have your wheel crooked on the swing arm, you'll have premature tire wear. And as you can see, these tires are fairly new, so we don't want to destroy his tire just by adding chain. So this is pretty much the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I hope you take the time and watch some of my other videos. And you guys go out and ride safe. And then we'll finish up by tightening up the 32 millimeter axle nut. And this job is complete. See y'all.